Hey lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Nell's interview with Dustinross. We are going to be covering what she said about Lexi and Lexi's mom. We're also going to be talking about what she said about Martell Holt. Now, I have a lot of things I want to get through, especially in relation to what she says about Martell Holt. So you guys make sure you watch this video until the end. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And everyone, please like, share, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. So I will start with what she said about Lexi's mom and Lexi. So what she said was that she felt like Lexi's mom is the root of the issue between her and Lexi. So she gave examples of when in the past, when it's just Lexi and her, things have been fine. And Lexi is usually fine around her. And she also mentioned that Lexi did spend a lot of time around her and was fine. But then when she gets around her mother, then things crop up. Personally, I feel like two things can be true. Lexi can have her own personal issue with Nell, and also Lexi's mom may have her personal issue with Nell. I personally don't believe that everything is based on Lexi's mom being the root of the issue between both of them, especially because Lexi's a grown-ass woman, right? Like, I understand if, like, maybe when you're a child, there are certain things that your parents or someone may say about someone else that could, like, impact on how you see them. But then I feel like when you do spend time around them, you are usually able to sense, okay, mom was right or mom was wrong. Or, wow, mom was literally completely wrong on this one. Or mom was completely right on this one, right? Usually you're able to sense for yourself when you get to a certain point, when you've actually been around this person as an adult. Now, I'm not talking about when you're a child and you're still naive. I'm talking about when you get to a point where you make your own decisions, and you're grown enough to be able to observe things from a more neutral lens. So I would like to believe that I personally think Lexi must have her own personal issue. If it is just the issue that her mom has with Nell, I don't think it's going to be as deep. I don't think it would be as deep to that level. The level of upset, sadness, disappointment, anger that we saw is not, I don't think it's enough for us to fully give that to Lexi's mom. Now, Nell did start doing the math when it came to, like, the children. She did also say, or at least insinuate, that Chris and Lexi's mom, Cornelia, got married because they were pregnant and expecting a baby. And that didn't happen in the case of her and Chris. Now, first of all, I just thought, like, that's completely uncalled for. And then she started to go into how old her kids are, what age Lexi is, and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought, why do you feel the need to be explaining all of these things? It is coming across as you're trying to strongly prove to us that you weren't involved and there was no crossover between you and Lexi's mom. The truth of the matter is, I think for most people do not really care. I think for myself, I'm just thinking, like, you guys have been together for how long? Like 30 years? Like, whatever has happened has happened. I don't really care about the ins and outs. You guys have stayed together. It is what it is on that one. Nell also did say that Chris and Cornelia was legally separated when she met Chris. She then also talks about, like, when she found out they were married, she wasn't happy about it. My personal question is, like, girl, how did you find out? I'm just curious. Did Chris tell you? Or did Cornelia have to tell you herself? This is just me trying to understand. She did also say that when she spoke to both of them, Chris did not want to reconcile with Cornelia, and Cornelia did not want to reconcile with Chris. But then, in the same vein, does say she feels like Cornelia wanted Chris back. I'm like, which is it? And when did you know that Cornelia wanted Chris back. Was this when you found out they were married, or was this afterwards? Like, for me, I'm just like, even if she's trying to act like there wasn't some sort of overlap, it still sounds like there was some sort of overlap. Now, we personally don't care. They've been together for 30 years. She's the wife of 30 years. Things must be going all right if they've stayed together for that long. So I just don't think it's that deep at this point. Now, let's talk about Martell Holt. Now, this is the thing that made me first gag, okay? Dustin decided to ask Nell, was it hard to make the decision to just invite Mel to your birthday party and not Martel? I'm like, what kind of question is that? Well, on the bright side, it got her talking. So shout out to Dustin. It clearly worked. So now she was basically saying that she felt like it was very hard for her. I'm thinking, what was so hard about that? Now, she goes on to say that, regardless of where they are at, as in Melody and Martel, she met them together as a couple. They were a powerful couple. Now, I completely agree with that. They were a very powerful couple, especially in Huntsville, according to the streets. And she said that, it was difficult for her, but she accepted that they had split. But she doesn't feel like she needs to kick someone to the curb because they make mistakes. Now, let's break it down. There's so much here. Now, this is not the only thing she said, and I'll tell you more of what she said in a second. But I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, she does talk about meeting them together. I completely understand that. But I feel like, why was it so hard to stand for what is right? Like, what was so hard about being like, okay, you've done all of these things, I'm choosing to not invite you? Why does it have to be I don't want to pick the side, I don't want to pick side, I don't want to kick someone to the curb? I think she has this thing in her mind that like real friends enable other friends' behavior. And I wonder if she does that with her children, which is like, does she enable any behaviors from them? Like, I'm just curious about that. But she does say, and she goes on to say, real friends don't just go away and pick sides because you're divorced from Mel. So basically, she was insinuating that she ain't going to be picking no side. She shouldn't have to pick a side. And that's just not who she is. I'm like, okay. So you mean to tell me that if your friend does something wrong, you are still going to be riding by them without calling them out? So your friend could do something as grievous and as terrible as Revenge P, and you're still like, ooh, that's my friend, I'm gonna stick by him. She reminds me of those women, those older women sometimes, who feel like a man can never do anything wrong, and if he does something wrong, it's because he was pushed, or that there's no need to like call him out on things he has done. All you need to do is just accept and just like be there and supportive of him. I'm like, there is a place for you calling out bad behavior. There is a place for you to be like, nah, you were wrong. I can't stand by you. If you continue to behave like this, I can no longer be a friend to you. My question to Nell is, if someone did what Martel did to Melody, to your daughter, would you still be saying this? Would you want your friends and family to pick sides? Or would you want them to continue to hang out with the person that has done all of this craziness to your daughter? She did also say that Martel used to say she has to pick a side, but now she feels like Mel also wants her to pick a side. The truth of the matter is, I can't be friends with someone who will continue. If I was Mel, I wouldn't be able to be friends with someone who continues to be friends with someone that has done horrific things to me. Let me give you an example. My friend was dating a guy back in the day. He was a horrible guy. Nothing near Martel. Me and him were cool and we're friends before that. Sorry about my Bluetooth speaker. And we're friends before that, right? Yet, guess what I did? I decided to take a step back from him because of the horrific things he did to my friend. Now, we're no longer friends. I think I even unfollowed him on social media. Because I'm like, nah, we can't be friends. there can't be anything between you and I. And I think that's even someone I knew before I met my friend. And we were closer before I met my friend and we became close. Yet, I still made the right decision and I stand by what I did. You have to be able to stand up for what is right. I feel like Nell is one of those people who does not understand that when does her trying to support Martel becomes enabling? Like, when does support become enabling behavior? Now, think about it. When you're enabling someone, you're trying to support the person through a hard time, but then you're doing things that has now crossed over. Like, it's crossed over, it's taking it too far. And I feel like her saying that it was hard to not invite Martel to a party is ridiculous. Let's not forget, Martel was all up in the confessional saying that he does not want to go to a 60-year-old plus party. And let's not forget, he's the one that started this whole side chick or no side chick rumor on the show. Like, he brought it to the show. In a way, I'm like, is Nell watching the same show we're watching? Or maybe she doesn't watch the show. If she doesn't watch the show, that might make a lot of sense and explain why that interview with Dustin happened the way it did. Because if you're watching the show and this man is practically calling you out and making jokes about your age, like age is something to be ashamed of, and then you're over there saying it was hard and you were sad you couldn't invite him. Like, seriously. It shouldn't have been hard. It should have been easy. There's no way you should have been struggling to invite someone who tried to put out revenge plea against somebody. Like, there is no way you should be struggling to think about, oh, I didn't invite them. It does make someone wonder, like, is there something that Martel has against or on you guys? Because it just seems like you guys can never cut ties with Martel and literally always want Martel to be an angel, which I just don't understand it. It's given like he has something over you guys. But that's all I think. I don't know for certain. Everything I said on this channel and on this video is alleged, in my opinion only, for the purposes of critique. So make sure you hit that, and entertainment purposes only. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that bell button, so that you know every single time I post or go live. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.